Just about to mix together my topsoil mixture, and I've got here just a heap of pelletized chicken manure. It's already well composted, so I don't have to worry about any seeds coming in there. Put it at the bottom. I'm just going to add some water and then add a coir block. The idea being this will soften up and dissolve, and the manure will mix together with the coir as it slowly absorbs the water and fluffs up. These are what the bricks look like. Coir, it's all compacted. This is about 30 by 30 by 10 centimeters, and once fluffed up, they're supposed to reach 60 litres in volume. You can see I've already filled up the wheelbarrow pretty much to the top with water, and in about 15-20 minutes it's pretty much soaked up all of it. That's only less than a quarter of it is crumbled off, so I've got a few more soakings to go. Okay, it's about 15 minutes has elapsed. I pretty much had this wheelbarrow 3/4 full of water before, as you saw. Now, so I filled it up twice to 3/4 full, so 1.5 wheelbarrows worth of water, and it's crumbled most of the way, but as you can see, it's still about 1/3 of the brick left. Water wise, there's a little bit soggy here, so it's quite a lot of water it's soaking up, which is another reason why I've chosen coir as my topsoil mixture, because of its water holding ability. It's just going to add to the complete wicking effect, and it'll retain a lot of the moisture once it gets up the top. So there you go. I'm going to take this one out and do it later because my wheelbarrow is too small and I still need to mix in the vermiculite. This is what vermiculite looks like. It weighs a lot more than perlite, but if you squeeze it, it actually smears, so it's got a very, very weak structure. But that's fine, it's going to be in the very top, and it holds a lot of water. So I've just got to mix this through. So I've got all the mixed up topsoil, or the first part of it, just in the centre here. You can see the geofabric tends to want to fall into the centre. So what I do, is the reason I've got it in the middle, is that now I can sort of push it, then up, just build up a little wall. And that way I can ensure that the geofabric is pushed up nice and firmly, and just shape it up against the plastic. And also where the fold is, same thing. And what I've done here is I marked the center line, center point for this upright. So that's 150 mil there. So I added an extra 100 for height, so 250 in, 250 in, cut the hole, slid it down, so it's a nice firm seal, and that way just keep pushing soil up, just compacting it, building a wall, and because it's all moist, it's holding its shape, which is great. And just keep working your way around, and that's how you do the first layer of topsoil. It's also a good opportunity if you've got a small wheelbarrow like mine, and just to give it another good mix while you've got a lot of space in through here. You can see now I'm onto my second coir block of 3. So this is like the middle layer, and what I've done is I've added sugarcane mulch. Now I've had great success with sugarcane mulch down in my backyard, where the worms have come in and they've turned basically cement-like clay into rich, dark, friable soil. So figured I'd add this in. So I've sort of trying to implement 3 gardening techniques or styles into these beds. The first one's obviously utilising the Wicking Bed technology, so the big reservoir of water always available. The second is throwback to lasagna gardening, where you just put in mulch and manure. And the third style is obviously going to be square foot gardening. So I have full access to the back of each of these beds, so they're a convenient size, these IBCs. So I have access, and obviously they will all complement each other. The worms will be a inbuilt nutrient feeder. The leachate from the worm juice, which normally you would collect in a worm farm, will automatically drop into the wicking bed water and will come up through the wicking process and feed the plants. So it's a very isolated and self-contained unit. This is the third and final layer of topsoil. You can see I've actually added a lot more vermiculite into this last layer. I figured if vermiculite absorbs and holds water, then I'd like it to be at the very top where the roots and young seedlings will be, and I guess it's furthest away from the actual reservoir down below, so it gives the shallow rooted plants the best opportunity. And what I'll be doing is, once I've got some plants in there, I've got a heap of leftover sugarcane mulch bales down the back, which I can bring up, and I'll just put a mulch layer over the top, so just to give it a little bit more nutrient and obviously minimise evaporation. So I got a little bit carried away with watering down the top, so you can see it all, the excess water coming out from the overflow pipe, and it's just going down through there. I sort of watered it down. I just wanted to make sure everything was completely soaked, and probably the only time I'll actually water the top part of the bed. Obviously it's going to receive all its water through there, but I figured in the first water, while there's nothing in there, just give it a good soaking, let the water seep down through all the different substrate, and we'll compact it naturally rather than me having to push down on it. And that way I know it's fairly well settled. But yeah, that's going to fly out, and you can see the colour of it, but it's pretty much a golden browny colour from a combination of the coir, that probably more so from the dissolved chicken manure. So that's obviously making its way into the water down there. Yes, it is getting wasted, but on the larger scale, I guess, a bigger scheme of things, it's hardly anything compared to what gets leached away if it was just a regular garden bed sitting on top of dirt.